Alright guys, most entrepreneurs and humans in general get an afternoon crash, and I'm here to tell you that that is not normal. You should not just go about your life crashing in the afternoon, feeling paralyzed, your brain doesn't work, you've got no energy, it's hard to focus, you just feel terrible. We all know what an afternoon crash is. Very, very common, and I'm going to solve this for you and tell you what are the causes and what you can do. And it's going to be something where by tomorrow you might not be having any more afternoon crashes. So I just want to remind you that this is coming from inputs. This isn't coming from what you did just now. It's coming from the inputs that you did. And I'm going to get straight into it. So the first one is a blood sugar dip, right? So what most people do, let's talk about if you do intermittent fasting. So most entrepreneurs do intermittent fasting. They wake up, maybe a bit of water, black coffee, maybe 2 black coffees, maybe even nicotine, whatever, right? But they fast until maybe 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 p.m., whatever, and then they have some kind of lunch, whatever it is, eggs on toast or chicken and rice, whatever it is. And then after that, they're like, you know what, my brain is gone. I'm going to be at like 30, 40%, right? But they feel like it's worth it because, you know, in that time from when you wake up and you're working up until you eat, you get a lot of good quality work done. Intermittent fasting gives you that power. You're running on stress hormones, basically. It works, but anyway. You want to break it with fairly low carbohydrates. You want it to be food that's very high quality. So if it's eggs, it's pasture-raised eggs. If it's chicken, it's, you know, pasture-raised chicken without antibiotics. If it's beef, you know, it's grass-fed, no hormones, etc. And with the carbohydrate you have, you want to make it so it's carbohydrates that's easier to digest, whether that's fruit or whether it's like sweet potato. You know, whenever you start having, you know, sourdough, that's going to be harder for you to digest. On top of that, you just don't want to have a large amount. So I can't tell you the exact amount you should take yourself. I can't even tell you what exact foods you should have yourself. You should know by now what foods kind of agree with you in general. Outside of intermittent fasting, just when you eat it, do you feel a bit foggy? Do you get digestive issues, whatever? So you want to, in general, aim for foods that agree with your body. Stick to that as your first meal. Don't have too much carbohydrates. And don't eat up until you're full when you have that first meal, intermittent fasting, right? But once you break it anyway, go for a walk. So you can go for a walk to lower that blood sugar spike and crash. You can also have apple cider vinegar right before that it's going to help you digest it better and lower that blood sugar spike, right? Say you're having breakfast. So you're going to have your first meal. You want to have obviously high quality carbohydrate with a protein, but the whole point is you want to have a protein and carbohydrate balanced meal every 3 to 4 hours. And what that does is it keeps your blood sugars more stable. It's going to be like this every 3 to 4 hours compared to then 3 p.m. and then boom, right? And a lot of people won't have breakfast, or they'll be like, you know, if I eat food, it makes me feel tired, so I'll just avoid eating food and deal with it later. I'll just deal with the crash later. But it's not food's problem, it's the way you're eating. It's what you're eating, it's how you're balancing it, it's how you're timing it with all the other meals in the night before. You just want to keep your blood sugar stable because the biggest stress on your body, apparently, is blood sugar crashes, right? You might think it's something else. You might think it's what your ex said or whatever's happening in your business, but it's actually your blood sugars spiking really hard and crashing really hard. So, yeah, you want to have, when you have something that's carbohydrate heavy and, you know, protein low, then you're going to spike and crash and feel hungry and feel tired. If you have protein, it's going to drop very low. So you want to have protein and carbs balanced every 3 to 4 hours. The fat will come accidentally, the fiber will come accidentally just with your meals if you pick normal healthy human meals. Yeah, protein and carbohydrate balanced meal every 3 to 4 hours. Keep your blood sugars stable and you will not get that from food or the blood sugar crash. So the next thing, all right, there was a lot of time spent on that because it's a big, big, big one. If you can nail the blood sugar thing, that's going to save you a lot of time, energy, and stress and enable you to focus so much better and not get the crash. But the next one, which also contributes, is your caffeine timing. So you might have heard from Andrew Huberman. He made it a little bit popular where, you know, he says you have to delay your coffee, get sun in your eyes, delay your coffee in the morning. The reason is because when you have caffeine, it actually binds to a receptor and blocks something called adenosine. And adenosine is what flows throughout your brain, makes you feel kind of tired. And when you wake up, you've got a bunch of adenosine floating in your brain. And so when you have caffeine, you kind of block it from releasing. So you instantly feel like, okay, I feel awake, alert, etc. But the thing is, when you do that too early, instead of letting the adenosine flood out of your system naturally, which usually takes 1 hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, you're blocking it. And then when the caffeine starts to wear off, all the adenosine comes crashing down at once. So you can imagine why you get a bit of a crash, right? Again, you could be getting most of your crash from blood sugars, you can be getting it most from your caffeine and all the other things I'm going to talk about. But all of them in combination, I want you guys to conquer so you just feel good energy throughout your day anyway. You don't get this crash. So that is why we delay caffeine 60 to 90 minutes upon waking up, right? The next thing is just poor sleep quality. Now, I'm not going to get into the sleep tips. I want you guys to watch my sleep video, which I just recorded. It should be up on my channel, probably the video before this or two before this. So I want you guys to check that out. But yeah, anyways, keep watching. So after that is you're probably underhydrated. And being underhydrated is like, it's so stupid and it's so easy and simple to fix, but it happens so often. It used to happen to me all the time. And it's such an easy fix and it's such a common occurrence for most people. They think they say they feel bad or they're just having a bad day. They're just dehydrated. Like, you'd be surprised. Give them like a berry smoothie with electrolytes and they'll be perfectly fine, right? So that is the next thing. How you want to counter this is you want to have 500 milliliters of water when you wake up. So that's pretty much 2 cups of water with a pinch of salt or an electrolyte supplement, a few hundred grams of sodium at least. And, especially if you're intermittent fasting, you're going to be releasing a lot of fluids. So make sure you have a little bit more electrolytes. Maybe you're salting your foods throughout the day so you're able to hold more water. And just keep drinking water. Have it next to you while you're working. So that is a trick to be hydrated. Boom. The next one is a sedentary lifestyle or just sedentary behavior in general, right? We work on our laptops for the most part. We sat down. And if you think about it, it's very unnatural. It's very unhealthy. We just spent 8+ hours in bed the night before as well, just chilling out, watching TV, whatever, unwinding, working as well. And now we've woken up after all of that and sat another 5 hours. You're going to feel tired if you don't move. That's why I recommend all of my clients, and I do, and most people I know that are successful or healthy, they walk in the morning for at least 5, 10, 15 minutes. And they also walk after their meals, so maybe after breakfast, maybe not after breakfast, after lunch especially. So the main rule is you want to, move every 4 to 5 hours at least, right? But especially that walk after lunch or the walk in the morning, those two are probably the most important walks in terms of performance. So right when you wake up pretty much in your morning routine, and then after your lunch, those are going to help massively, massively. You're going to digest your food better. You're going to get blood flowing. When your blood is flowing, the oxygen moves, your nutrients getting moved around your body, and blood flows to your brain. All good stuff. You can do push-ups, you can do shadow boxing, you can do whatever you want. Do some dancing, shadow boxing, whatever, right? Don't be sedentary. The next one is mental overload. It's the last one, mental overload. So this can easily happen if you're not good at, managing how you go through your work, your deep work tasks. So the main thing you want to do is not multitask. We have mental RAM, we have mental bandwidth. And if there's too many things going on, even in your physical environment, in your digital environment, you have too many tabs open, you're thinking about multiple things, you're doing many things at once, you're going to fry your brain and you're going to get some kind of mental crash. So do one thing at a time. Just get rid of everything, clean your room, clean your brain, clean your digital environment. Do one thing at a time. Focus, don't get distracted. And on top of that, do obviously your key deep work tasks in the morning. Do the light tasks in the evening, unimportant emails or, managing your calendar. Whatever isn't, a key task that's going to move your needle forward, like content, sales, DMs, calls, whatever. Do that in the front at the start of your day. That's when you have peak brain power. I'm struggling to speak now because I've been intermittent fasting for a little while now, but you understand me. So yeah, you want to do that. And yeah, just remember again, the crash isn't coming from what you did, just then and there. It's coming from your, I'm going to summarize again, your blood sugar dip, your caffeine timing, your poor sleep quality, you being underhydrated, you not moving, sedentary behavior, and mental overload. So when you fix these inputs, you will not get this afternoon crash. Right? I know so many people that just get this afternoon crash and they accept it. They think it's normal. I'm like, it's not normal. You don't need to have this energy crash. Right? Think about what you would do when you get all that time back. Right? Are you going to call your friends and family? Are you going to work more? Are you going to go to the gym? What are you going to do? Stop wasting your life with these energy crashes. Hope you found that useful. If you did, leave a like, comment, sub. And if you want me to personally audit your performance, figure out your main goal in business, where you're trying to go, audit your performance, your health habits, etc., then message me the word audit, AUDIT, on Instagram. My link is in the bio, and we can chat from there. So yeah, bye.